Hey guys, this is Ryan. Welcome back to the shop here. Got another project. I'm hoping turns out well. I was using my small Atlas horizontal bandsaw the other day, and it's the pulleys on it on the counter shaft have always a little bit of when it went under load had some issues, and I think most of the problem is because the threads within the pulley for the set screws were pulling out. I don't know what kind of material for sure what this is, you know, or how long the threads have been having issues. They may have had issues since I got it, since I had never taken the set screws out. But what I'm hoping to do, because the threads, they really only start, about a third of the way down, and then they're pretty well boogered up, is I plan on taking in a drill, and these are currently, I believe, 5/16 24, and the holes pretty much go from the root of the pulley from side to side, so I don't want to enlarge it too much. The main hole in here currently is about I think it was about 277, 278, somewhere in there. So I'm just going to go up to about 312, and I'm going to cut into the sides just a little bit, but drill a whole new hole down through there, and then tap it for a 3/8 whatever the course is. Was it a 3/8 16 or 18? I forget from what I've seen in the book. If I look down through here, just looking at the drill, it shouldn't too much there. I may, once I get it set up here and start drilling, if it's taking out too much of the sides of the pulley, I may go down to a letter N drill instead of the 5/16 drill, just to make the hole just not quite as big. It'll only be about 10,000 smaller, but we'll see on that. Save a little time here on the video length. What I'm doing here is I'm just taking a dowel pin of the size of the hole here, lining up the dowel pin into the hole, and the hole is deep enough that it also allows to line it up vertically. And so then I'm taking a stub drill here, drilling it out with the 5/16 drill in order to put in the 3/8 coarse thread. Drilling the hole all the way through here, since it is a through hole to the center of the pulley. And after that, I just use the mill to get the thread tap started, and then after I pulled this one out, I generally had to do the same thing here. Here's the holding setup I'm going to use to mill a couple flats. The holes are 90-degree opposite each other, so what I did was just put on one of my 5C collet blocks, the square one, on the one end here, and then I put a machinist jack under the end here to support it. I don't know exactly how the nuts and everything work on the end of this one pulley here. I assume it's some kind of wedge type pulley, but since I can do this operation here without taking it off, I thought I'd do it that way. And then before I pull the collet block out, just to try to get the lengths, at least close, I'll put my stop against it, so I can, when I just flip it 90 degrees, I can push the block up against it. So I just got to get the figure out what size end mill I'm going to use. It really shouldn't matter since I'm not going full depth, but I'll just need to get one that's center cutting. I was hoping I was going to be able to use my ER20 collet, so I didn't have to raise and lower the head on knee mill here, but I guess I hadn't had to use, or I just never noticed that the 3/4 and the 7/8 R8 collets that I had actually have a step in them, and they're not the size that far in, and so there just wasn't a whole lot that was going to be holding on to the end of the rod. So I decided to just lower the head and use the mill, or use the bit directly in the R8 collet. So we'll just take a little bit off here, and hope that's good. Before I put it in here, I put some blue marks where I could tell that the old set screw had been pushing in. So I kind of know where I need to do it. Kind of eyeball the center. I just went ahead and touched off here, and then I moved to the side here, and I initially only went down about 20 thousandths on the side here. And then I flipped it over here, put it up against the stop, and I went ahead and tightened it down, and then took the same 20 thousandths cut on that 90 degree. And when I looked at it, I kind of decided that it didn't look like it was going to be quite deep enough to keep it from rounding, so I dropped it down another 30 thousandths. So I ended up taking 50 thousandths off on each side. I just flipped it back here. Had a little trouble getting it set back up. I got everything set back up, and then took the 30 thousandths cut on this side. I ended up putting the part in the lathe, and used some emery tape to just to clean up the shaft a little bit from a couple of the burrs and everything that were on it. So I didn't record that, and so next piece here will be just seeing it back on the mill, and running it up the mill. The set screws that we put in there, looked like the marks from where the set screws had been were a little bit off, and so I didn't quite get 100% flat in the hole, but I think it'll at least do for now till I take off again. I ran it a little bit to give it a chance to work itself in. So go ahead and we'll start it up here again. And right now, even with the belts loose, it does spin it a little bit. We'll go ahead and tighten up the counter shaft here. Now it doesn't quite go far enough so the handle can fully kind of engage at a point where it won't try to pull itself off when it gets loose. I may have to just take one link out of the link belt for it. But let's see so we'll go ahead and engage the feed. I'm somewhat beginning to think that this table might have a little bit of